side, I would just like to start off with just thanking you guys so much for this amazing opportunity to be able to apply for National Educator with John Paul Mitchell Systems. I'm a stylist in Grants Pass, Oregon for the last 11 years, and for the last 3 years I've had the privilege to be able to work at a focus salon called In Vogue Beauty LLC. I'm making this short video before my tutorials just to give you guys a brief overview of who I am, what I'm about, and why I love your guys' company so much. So with being a active hairdresser for the last 11 years, I've been able to look, try, use multiple products. But every time, Paul Mitchell System has always blown my mind, stepped above the rest, and created something that no other company has been able to do. With working in a small community of 30,000 people, we usually get families, communities, so to be able to have a product line that I'm able to fine-tune and custom make to make my moms, my dad, and my children, and possibly their pets happy is pretty amazing. Your guys' company has completely floored me with having low carbon footprint, completely recycled materials, being able to solar panel ran farms to generate just an amazing ecosystem within your guys' company, and with being a dog owner, to be able to have products that are not tested on animals continually make me happy. So with using your guys' products, I've been able to have this amazing opportunity to be able to have complimentary education. Your guys' complimentary education allows each stylist and salon to be able to call up a product sales rep, to be able to hire someone to come into the salon to be able to train us on the leading industry's new techniques and talents. And on top of it, with having the Paul Mitchell Pro website, we're able to jump online at a moment's notice and be able to come up with accurate answers to our clients' most important questions. So with all of that said, to be able to be on your guys' team, to be the person to be able to give that information, to inspire minds and creativity, and to be able to bring that into salons and share, just sounds exactly what I would like to do. So I would just like to thank you guys once again for this amazing opportunity. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to be an applicant, and thank you guys so much for having a company that will allow me to be able to further my behind the chair experience and my clients as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy my tutorials that I have to offer for you guys, and can't wait to meet all of you. Hey there again, guys. We're here at my salon right now, actually with our guest Joseph. Today we're going to give him a really great haircut. With his lifestyle, he's a little bit rock and roll and a little bit business. So we have to try to incorporate making sure that he gets the exact kind of haircut that will allow him to express his unique personality, but then when he goes back into his corporate job, that he has a clean cut, really good look to make sure that people in his line of business take him seriously. So we've already started out already today by actually going through and just giving him a little bit of light highlighting. You can kind of tell with his about 4-ish, 5-ish base color, we decided to go through to give him a little bit of highlights up on top. So once we're done, we're actually going to give him kind of like a side faux hawk that'll blend in quite nicely. And on this one side, we're going to give him a nice clean cut to kind of give him that little bit of hipster-ish without it getting a little out of control. So the highlights that we used on him, actually, I decided that with men, time is an issue, and then also too, we don't want it to look super fake. So I actually used, out of the Paul Mitchell colors, 7CB and 30 volume. That gave him good depth, good color. Right now, of course, without having a good haircut, it really doesn't give it its true justice, but we'll go through, tighten up his sides, blend it in beautifully to actually give him a really good smooth polished look when he's at work and a rock star look when he's off. Out the whole blending in and making sure that we've gotten the sides cut short enough, blended into a little bit shorter in the back, gave him a good clean line that's even. Double checking it at different angles to make sure, because sometimes hairlines grow a little odd and some men have like cowlick lines or shaded spots or thinner areas that would actually create holes. So you just need to make sure that you stay very consistent on making sure that you map out the hairline before you get in there and start cutting stuff. Also too, a lot of our men do rely on us to make sure that like manscaping's taken care of, so we definitely double check ears, eyebrows, making sure that our men are going to look just as handsome when they're done. So next thing I'm going to do is wet this all down, blend in this area. As you can tell, Joseph's got a pretty heavy cowlick back here that we have to be really careful about to make sure that we get that blended in nicely. so that it lasts a good 3 to 6 weeks in between his appointments. With him being also Native American also too, it leaves his hair just a little bit more coarse, a little bit more stubborn. So thankfully with the use of Wonderful Mitch products, we're going to be able to give him the ultimate style when we get back after cutting in this area. So as you can see, now this one side perfectly kind of cruises on over to the other side. I'm going to do a little bit of light texturizing just on this one side to make sure that when it grows on out, even though when I clippered it, I made sure to create a good clean line where a stopping point was going at to give me that weight line on that one section. I'm just going to diffuse it lightly with just using my texturizing shears just to give it a little bit. I point cut it in some areas, did some blunt cutting in other areas. With his hair type and his calyx, he's actually got hairs that like to stick straight up anyways. So I think with going in and giving him too much texture, except for just going in and just point cutting some of it, I think it's going to create too many different levels of hair, which are actually going to make it harder for him to style when he gets home. So we'll go through and do this one side. I'm going to get my new little tool that I actually bought the other day to actually cut in a good part line on this one side. And then we'll take him back to the wash house to be able to use a little bit of that double hitter in there. Make sure that we get him nice and clean and also condition, really add good shine into his chemically treated. One side up to exactly where I'd like it to be. I was using actually like that little part right there on his hairline to incorporate actually cutting that down to skin, because it's already coming back a little bit further, so I figured it would give good lines. I'm going to wrap it about right to where his calic line is, and that's just going to give him like that really crisp, clean part line kind of combed over look. Super hot and very trendy, and it gives him that little bit of having that spice into a haircut that overall this would have been fine, but I think creating that line just gives him that little bit of an edge for when he's off of work. Now we have our new part line instilled in. I just tried to round it nicely and delicately right into this back calic area, so it kind of diffuses down. I'm definitely not a barber. I'm definitely a behind the chair like actual stylist. But I've always had this like obsession with just amazing techniques that barbers have always had. So with coming out with new little tools and these new techniques allow stylists like me to actually start branching out just to get a little bit more creative with our men's haircuts so that our men don't lose interest in their stylists or get bored because of the fact that we just don't reinvent ourselves. So now that I've been able to somewhat master this, I'm pretty excited about it. So what we'll do is we're going to go back to the wash house. I'm going to get Mitch double hitter. I really, like I said earlier, really enjoyed it. It's a 2-in-1. I really like that for men. I'm a big fan of big products that are dual usage because, number one, the packaging lets the family know that he lives at, that's definitely his. And he's going to be able to get that good clean feeling, but plus also get that moisturizing feeling since we are actually using color on his hair. Just want to be able to preserve that too. So we'll take him on back. So we just got back from the wash house where Joe got a little bit of his own time using that great Mitch Mann product. We're actually going to be using as his styling product the Mitch Mann construction paste. I really, really, really like it because you can use it on slightly damp hair or dry hair, super moldable. Doesn't ever dry with that like sticky or crunchy look. It just is going to give him tons of texture, good amount of shine, and pliable so that say if he gets off of work, doesn't have time to really shower before he has to go on out, he can go back to the room, slightly damp his hands, rerun his fingers back through, and be able to rework back these bad calic areas that fight him a little bit. I prefer to use the product personally on his hair type dry. So we're actually going to be using our Paul Mitchell Nero blow dryer. Such a great usage blow dryer with the different heat settings on it, temperature, you know, with the speeds. I really like how it actually reduces drying time by displacing the water and actually turning it into really good moisture for your client's hair. A lot of my male clients actually enjoy having their hair completely blow dried and styled just because with using the Nero technology, they actually get a little bit more shinier, more control, and more movement just from using a single blow dryer. So really amazing product that I try to encourage all my clients to use. So now that his hair is all dry, I'm really big into education with my clients. We can do miracles behind the chair because number one, from all the education we've gotten from your guys' company, secondary, just where we're standing at the location makes it so much easier. So if we sell our clients these amazing products and don't really sit down and discuss with them on how to use them, they're actually wasting their money. So usually what I try to do is just be really good on explaining on how each product uses. So what we'll be doing today, Joe, is to make sure that you use this product properly. We're going to take about a little bit bigger than a dime size, sit that down. You really want to emulsify it in your fingers and get it in through your hands. And then where you can do it is you have a little bit of spare left in your palm, and you'll be using your fingertips to be able to put that in. But you can just pretty much just use your fingers, comb up over, push some stuff forward, and it just really gives that good polished look, lots of texture and movability. And I still have the bulk of the product in my hand, so when I want to move into different areas. Because the one thing that people usually do is they leave too much on their fingers, put it all in one spot, you get greasy looks or clump looks. So making sure that you actually apply the product properly allows the product to do its job. Perfect. So our end result. So not to brag or anything, but I will have to say, pretty handsome client that we got here, pretty spectacular haircut. Good lines, clean, blendage went beautifully, gave him that shorter here on the sides to make sure for growing out it doesn't take so long. Good area with covering that cowlick, making sure that hairline isn't cut up too high. To the one side with giving him that mock part line just to give him that good definition of that combed over look. Amazing products created by Mitch Mann to be able to give him the ultimate polished look after a great haircut. So thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed me and Joe on creating his ultimate haircut. Thanks so much.